Randy Orton has finally returned, and his first match back is
Wargames!
On this episode of Monday Night Raw, we start the show with Drew McIntyre, and he has a lot of explaining to do in terms of his actions the week prior. And Drew is a full heel now. He even says that he's not Dominic Mysterio, and the crowd is going to let him speak. So Drew confirms that he has not joined the Judgment Day, and in fact he just accepted Rhea's offer to join the Judgment Day's team for War Games, because he really wants to beat up Jey Uso in a cage, which prompts Jey Uso to come out, and he says that he's going to give Drew a proper beatdown. Wait, excuse me, a yeet down. But before Jey can get into the ring, the Judgment Day come out to have Drew's back. And the thing I liked about this was that Drew was clearly shoving them aside, telling them to leave, and that he wants Jey to himself, emphasizing that he really hasn't joined the Judgment Day. But all of this commotion brings out Team Cody, and both teams are facing each other in the ring. But Adam Pearce comes out, and he tells them no fighting, and that he needs their picks for who will be in the War Games Advantage match later that night. Now for the first match of the night, Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez. At first I wasn't too sure what to expect with Nia returning, but so far she has low-key elevated the women's division. People want to see Nia get beaten up so badly. This resulted in huge fan support for Raquel. But sadly, Nia came out with the win, but it was a fun match. And just like on SmackDown, the through line in this episode was that since Drew joined Team Judgment Day, Team Cody needed to find a fifth member. So most backstage segments were of Team Cody brainstorming ideas for their fifth member. Up next was an insane match between Becky Lynch and Xia Li. The crowd was on fire for this, and Xia showed out. It was super entertaining. But after Becky won, DamageCTRL came through the crowd to ambush Becky, but they got met with Team Bianca. And it was an all-out brawl between both teams, hyping up their match at War Games. Besides that, DIY is finally getting wins again. Next up was a fatal 4-way tag team match, and the winners become the #1 contenders for the women's tag team titles. And this match was so much fun, but Maxxine Dupri stole the show. She even had Michael Cole screaming, "You go, girl!" She is so much fun to watch, but Natlya and Tegan Nox won this one, and are continuing their feud with Chelsea and Piper Niven. But backstage, all the men's tag teams are arguing, and they tell Pearce that since the women got an opportunity at Gold, the men want one too. And he puts all the tag teams in a Turmoil match next week to determine the #1 contenders, which prompts Nick Aldis to show up, because he just allowed the Street Profits to become the #1 contenders for the tag titles on SmackDown. So they might split the tag titles moving forward. Now for the promo segment of the night, Gunther just bullying The Miz for like 5 minutes straight. Gunther has become a full package wrestler during this historic IC title reign, and he just proved that by going toe-to-toe with The Miz in a promo battle. But this just made the crowd love The Miz even more, which was the whole purpose of the segment, going into their match at Survivor Series. Next up we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Chad Gable in a really entertaining match, but sadly Nakamura outsmarted Gable this time, but Shinsuke is still on a warpath, hopefully leading to an open challenge at Survivor Series. Now the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso in a War Games Advantage match. And even though Jey had his moments here and there, Drew was purely dominant in this match, and won the advantage for Team Judgment Day. And Rhea came out after, and told Drew to keep beating up Jey, to which he and the rest of the Judgment Day did, and Team Cody came out with chairs to defend Jey, and Cody grabbed the mic and sorta kinda revealed that Randy Orton is their fifth member, and Jey was not pleased hearing this news whatsoever. So now he's stuck in a cage with Drew McIntyre, and the man he and his family injured to the point where he couldn't wrestle for over a year. So is Randy gonna forgive Jey, or is Randy gonna wait for his moment to strike and live up to the name the Apex Predator? Overall, this episode was fantastic. While hyping up Survivor Series, we also got matches and feuds to continue on past the pay-per-view. And during this episode, we got fun matches, an amazing promo segment, and Randy Orton is back. But let me know your thoughts on Randy's return and this episode of Monday Night Raw in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.